And the way that we support our main idea are the details that they give us, okay? So your job, as I read, is to identify what the main idea is. Okay? You do not have one. Can you get him a book? Thank you for letting us know. All right, we are on page 25. We are on page 25. All right. Remember, you are looking for the main idea. Top of page 25.
What is that?
Oh, our voices up. We're listening. Mary was used to finding creatures that looked as if they swam in the water. But the creature she found next, still tucked in the cliff, was completely different. It was shorter than Mary, and could it be? It appeared to have wings and a beak. It must have been an ancient bird or a bat. The creature turned out to be a winged lizard. Or, hey, I don't have Presley here.
Pterosaur.
Thank you. Can you say it again louder?
Pterosaur.
Excellent job, pterosaur. The first one ever found in England. Mary closed her eyes and tried to imagine it flapping overhead. Slowly, slowly, bone by bone, Mary's fossil finds were adding to the knowledge that scientists had about Earth and its history. Her discoveries helped change what scientists chose to study from then on. Some scientists were becoming experts in new kinds of science, such as geology, the study of rocks. What is geology? What is geology?
Study rocks.
Nice job, Keeper. Can you say it again louder for us?
Study rocks.
The study of rocks. Excellent. All right. Other scientists were fascinated by paleontology, the study of fossils and ancient life. What is paleontology?
Study life.
The study of fossils and ancient life. All right. Meanwhile, day after day, year after year, Mary walked by the sea. Bone by bone, fossil by fossil, she learned more and more. It's okay, thank you, Hunter, for this. We are turning the page and we are on page 26 now. Inside Mary's fossil shop, visitors crowded around her latest discoveries. They came from all over Europe to meet her and ask her questions. After they left, Mary packaged up the fossils that collectors had bought. She built a wooden frame for each one and then gently placed it inside and packed it with plaster. Some of the fossils traveled by ship across the ocean to North America, and other fossils traveled by wagon to London and places that were closer. Top of page 27. Along with the other creatures she discovered, Mary also found the fossils of ancient fish.
What are these?
When a scientist named Louis Agassiz learned that Mary had collected more than 30 kinds of fossil fish, he traveled all the way from Switzerland to meet Mary. Look at her collection and see the places where Mary had found the fish. Louis was so grateful for her help, and he named not only one, but 2 kinds of fossil fish after Mary. On page 28, well, 29. Near the end of Mary's life, a scientist named Richard Owen used a new word never heard before to describe ancient creatures that lived on land. He called those creatures terrible lizards, or Mario, or dinosaurs. So he named them terrible lizards or dinosaurs. Remember, our voice level is at a 0 right now. Our voice level is at a 0. Mary's ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs ruled the seas. and her pterosaurs ruled the skies. So which one ruled the seas? Which one ruled the seas?
The long one.
What was it called? The...
Apatosaurus?
Nice job. The ichthyosaurs. Nice job, Aiden. He said the ichthyosaurs ruled the sea. What other one ruled the sea? A hard one. Plesiosaurs. Okay, and which one ruled the skies? Hunter, which one ruled the skies? Yes, I see your hand. The pterosaurs, and he said pterodactyls. So the pterosaurs is the whole name for the creatures that ruled the skies.
I know.
At the same time that those creatures lived, dinosaurs ruled the land. Many scientists were searching for dinosaur fossils, but not as many people were looking at the seas. Thanks to Mary, we have a more complete idea of what the world looked like during those times. So what did Mary do? We knew about the dinosaurs on land. What did Mary find? What did she help us with in our studies? What did Mary help us with? Mario, do you want to sit closer?
Fossils.
Gavin. Well, so Mary, we knew. No, thank you. So Mary helped us find what? Let's bring it back in. We're almost done, guys. We're gonna fill this out, finish reading this, fill this out, and then we'll be done. We have PE in 10 minutes. Right? We knew about the dinosaurs on the land, but we didn't know about the dinosaurs in the water. So Mary helped us discover what? The dinosaurs in. She helped us discover the dinosaurs in the water that lived in ancient times. Yes, it's a biography, so it's true. Page 30. After Mary died, her good friend Harry talked about her at an important meeting in London. Since Henry first met Mary, he had become well known for his work in geology. Now he was about to become the president of the Geological Society, and he wanted its members to remember Mary's important contributions to their work. During her life, Mary hadn't been able to become a member of the society because she was a woman. Only men were allowed to join. That's how it used to be back then. A lot of the times before women got their rights, they weren't allowed to do those type of things. Women weren't allowed to vote. A lot of them weren't able to have jobs. They were just expected to stay at home. They weren't allowed to join these things. Michael, I see your hand.
He's trying to eat me. Fossils are.
What? Yeah, the fossils are in the ground and the minerals. All right, guys, top of page 31. Mary Anning spent her whole life in the place she loved best, near the sea and the crumbling cliffs with their fossils hidden deep inside. No one, not even Mary, expected that she would accomplish all that she did. No one thought that a poor girl without much education would find important fossils and learn so much about geology and paleontology. But that is exactly what happened. Mary's love of fossils and her curious nature changed her life and helped change the world of science too.
The end.
That is the end of this story. So did people expect Mary to accomplish everything that she did?
Nope.
No. Why not? Why did they not expect her, Julia?
Because she was
Oh.
bored.
Remember, if you want to... Oh, Aiden, I see your hand. Why didn't they expect her?
Because she was poor.
Because she was poor. But does being poor and those type of things determine what you can do with your life? No. She still loved the fossils, so she studied them just like a scientist. So even though she didn't have money and she didn't have the education, she was able to impact the world. Did she remember a few days back we read that she was not getting much recognition for her work? Did she let that get her down?
Nope.
Did she quit? Was she like, whatever, that's a bummer? No. She persevered, right? She kept doing it. Even though people were not being too kind and they were saying not nice things, she continued to do it, and look where she is now. Now, Mary Anning, yes, this is a real person. This is a true book. She's down in history, and she has helped us understand the creatures that lived in the sea. That's pretty cool. So now what we're going to do, we're going to fill out our graphic organizer. We have 7 more minutes until we're going to clean up and go to PE. Okay? So what was the main idea? What was the main idea of this story? Of this book? Gavin. What did he say?
She found fossils.
That Mary discovered fossils, right? So Mary discovered fossils. What did her work do? So she discovered the fossils, Michael. Yep, so Mary looked for fossils, right? And then that led to more discoveries in science. So we're going to write that Mary looked and studied fossils, which led to more scientific discoveries.
Which the lead.
Do you know how to spell scientific?
Yes, I just spelled it. All right. What was one detail in our story? Hunter.
That she was interesting, she was curious, and she liked to find fossils.
Okay. So some of the details that lead us to this is that.
No. She acted like a scientist, and she
Okay, so Mary acted like a scientist. How did she act like a scientist?
acted like a scientist because she
What was she doing?
studying the fossils and shining them to see if they go together, and then collecting more
Right.
and more, and then like researching about them.
Nice job, Hunter. All right, Michael, I see your hand. Right, so Mary had found fossils that no one discovered. What were other scientists during this time? What were the other scientists?
Nothing.
Hunter, thank you for raising your hand.
They weren't even researching about fossils because they didn't find any. But Mary did, and they never knew. So they were just researching about their stuff.
Okay, so
were doing.
but they were still researching, right? They were still making discoveries as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then Mary's discoveries, right, intrigued other scientists. So we're going to say Mary's discoveries intrigued other scientists, which led them to more discoveries. All right, nice job.